Now in our 6th year, this is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. Talk like you've never heard it before.
From the rapidly, increasingly more infected New York City on the East Coast, this is the Ramble. I'm Alex Bennett. Out to the other coast of the United States of America, where I can't even visit Larry Bubbles Brown because I'm not getting on a goddamn airplane. Are you?
I would not get on simply because I can't wear a mask for 20 minutes without feeling overheated, and so that's the only reason I'd not get on a plane now.
Yeah. I mean, I can't stand it. The idea of getting on a plane, I think it's suicide.
Well, they're saying that this is what they're claiming. Their air is filtered and it's cleaner than being in a department store.
Well, that's not saying much.
No.
Yeah, I mean, is it cleaner than me staying at home? No. No. I know what the air is here. I even went out and bought air purifiers. But I didn't buy them because of Corona. I bought them because I, just wanted to be able to get some clean, fresh air in here since we're indoors all the time. But I'm just tired all the time. Like right now, I'm dog tired. I talk to you and I get lightheaded,
I was lightheaded this morning myself.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you think it has something to do with being indoors all this time?
Yeah, you're getting bad air, and then out here we're choking on smoke.
Yeah, but then I go for a walk and I'm a little better,
Yeah.
But anyway, so how are things going out in California?
Oh, we're just continuing. We have now a regular burn season, I guess, which is on fire like crazy out here. So they're evacuating people up in Santa Rosa and St. Helena.
Well, of course, there's nothing to burn in San Francisco, right?
I guess we're all concrete.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you've got Golden Gate Park.
Yeah, we just get the smoke, so that's all we worry about.
Yeah.
And the air is really like dangerously bad in some parts.
Oh boy, yeah, but I'm just get lightheaded. I sit here and I talk, and I get lightheaded from talking. It's weird. It's just weird.
Well, you sound fine.
Do I sound fine? I think I look.
Your voice sounds. One of the age indicators, I think, is you listen to someone's voice as they grow older, and yours is still strong.
Yeah, well, they had on TV today this General McMaster's who was with Trump, and they were interviewing him, and I was trying to not watch television because I think maybe part of my lightheadedness has to do with vision, and so I have my eyes closed, and he's on, and I'm going, he's a general? He sounds like a kid. And then I look at him, and he's an old guy, but he's got this really young voice.
That's rare.
Yeah. I mean, I can hear the change in my voice if I go back and listen to a recording. Not Live 105. Prior to that, New York. I can hear a difference. But it's not like I'm not talking like this.
Yeah.
But
when you're younger, your voice is a little higher.
That may have something to do, though, with the fact that I'm always using my voice. And so, therefore, I'm exercising it. Could that be?
That could be, sure.
Does that make sense?
You've got strong vocal cords.
Vocal cords like ox. Yeah.
I know some people there was a woman once that told me she couldn't do stand-up because the talking made her tired. After about all she could do was 20 minutes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I find right now with the way I'm feeling, if I start talking, I get lightheaded. Now I don't have any heart problems because I'm not getting chest pains or anything like that. It's just this absolute overwhelming fatigue, I guess. I mean, I did have all that radiation about 6 months ago, but I should not be feeling it worse now. But who knows?
No.
I mean, it could be that's causing the problem. So
it could be somewhat mental too. It's been such a crappy year.
Yes, it has been a crappy year. I mean, this has been just the weirdest year, hasn't it?
Well, I just wonder what we have in store for it.
Well, it doesn't look like it's getting any better.
No.
Texas is about to surpass New Jersey as having the most deaths from COVID.
Wow.
And you know what they're doing down there to curb COVID? Not a goddamn thing. I mean, that governor's killing people. Meanwhile, we got a governor here who's trying to save lives, but we've got problems here in New York now. We've had an upsurge in cases, and it has to do with the Hasidic Jews who don't wear masks.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
they won't wear masks. They're resistant to wearing masks. So so we're going to wipe out the entire diamond business.
But your numbers aren't nearly what they were.
Oh no, we're still like here in New York City with Brooklyn added into it, which is the infection point. We're at like 1.2, but for about a month and a half we were under 1% infection rate, which is very good. It was the best in the country. And it still is. If you take out the Brooklyn numbers, we are still, I think, something like 0.95 or something like that. So, I mean, I feel safer here than if I were in San Francisco. I don't know what
our numbers are fairly low.
Yeah.
But I remember when this thing started, New York City, it did look like it was the end of the world. And the hospitals were packed.
Well, I'll tell you how time flies when you're not having fun. I'm going to say something, and then it's going to depress you. Okay? Mm-hmm. You ready? Yeah. I was looking online at some stuff, right? You know what happened a year ago? On October 4th?
October 4th, let's see, I was in L.A. I remember Durst had a stroke.
That's it! You got it.
Yeah, okay.
Wow, your memory is just, it's amazing.
Well, not the usual. I'm surprised I remember that. Remember old stuff, but I usually don't remember things that are fairly current.
Yeah, well, he had his stroke a year ago on the 4th of October.
Yeah,
that's odd. But I thought it was like just yesterday.
Oh yeah, I can't believe a year's gone by.
And he hasn't made much progress.
Well, they haven't been able to give him much rehab because they cut all that out because of COVID.
Yeah. But now they're back to it, and they've got. She writes that his arm is working a little bit. They're working on getting his right leg to go. And it's it's a year later. I mean, I just so feel for him and feel so bad for her, Debbie, his wife. These are really nice, great people, and it's a shame to see it.
I know. I just hope he can come back.
I mean, you hear about somebody dying and you go, oh, my God, so-and-so died. And then you get on with your life, and they get on with theirs in a strange way. But when you have a stroke like this, I mean, you're alive, but you're not. It's really strange, and I feel so badly for them because there's something that in comedy always bothered me, and that is that you guys never formed a union. And the reason you needed to form a union wasn't to get better wages. It was so that as a group you could get medical insurance.
Right.
And comedians don't have medical insurance.
No, they tried. It was on the East Coast in the around '88. The PCA, Professional Comics Association. I thought it was a great idea, but it didn't catch on, and they were trying to do exactly the things you said: get medical and.
Comedians rejected it because, we don't have to have a union. We don't need a union. Well, yes, you do, because you don't have a medical plan. And
exactly.
And unless you become Richard Pryor, or unless you become a big major star, you're not going to have hospital insurance.
Even the actors are smart enough to get the Screen Actors Guild.
Well,
comics are too.
But the Screen Actors Guild,
two for themselves.
SAG-AFTRA has just fucked us over.
Yeah, I was going to look into that. You said something about the.
Forget it. They did away with it.
Wow.
They did away with it. They told us was it August? That starting the first of the year, you're going to have to go with, other plans. You can't use our plan. And then they sent us over to somebody called Via Benefits, who told us how we could better utilize getting our supplemental insurance. So my insurance is now going to go up. For the two of us, we were paying about $500 every 3 months, okay? Now that same number, I would say, will be at least 3 to 4 times that.
Holy shit.
Yeah. I mean, between Marjorie and I, we're going to have to pay about $800 a month, but luckily her employer is going to pay for it. But the minute she no longer wants to work, we have to start paying for it. And they just abandon people. And let me give you a good example, okay? Here's what they did. They said they have, if you're a regular actor, you have to make now $35,000 a year in order to qualify for the health insurance that they have. This is if you're under 65, okay? Mm-hmm. That's okay. And so if you're a working actor, I guess you'll make $35,000 without breathing heavy, except there's a COVID crisis right now, and no actors are working. Okay? That's for starters. Then with the seniors, they said that if you were taking your pension, then you couldn't somehow get into their other plan. So you had to go and find your own. Okay? So, I know what it was. Your residuals went towards how much money you made in a given year. So let's say you're James Earl Jones. Okay, all the commercials he did, all the voiceovers he did, he probably still gets a Star Wars check, He probably makes $35,000 a year off residuals alone, at least. Okay. Now, all of a sudden they said, if you're taking your pension, which I'm sure James Earl Jones is, because all of us, as soon as it was pension time with the union, we started taking our pension. If you take your pension, your residuals won't count towards the $35,000. So now James Earl Jones, as an example, has no insurance.
God, is the union in trouble? It sounds like they're trying to get everybody off the roll.
The union said, this was costing us too much money. In 3 years, we would have gone broke with it or something like that. But it was also mismanagement on their part. They could have, in negotiating new contracts and so on, included provisions to increase the amount of money going into the welfare and pension fund and so on, health. But they didn't. It was bad management.
I've heard that they've, for a long time, been very badly managed.
Yeah, well, this is proof of it. And now you've got all these people, all these actors have been working for years, who are now screwed. There's a guy by the name of Norman Lloyd. He's 105 years old. He's the oldest actor alive. All right? He just got thrown off his health benefits. You ready for that one?
105.
He's 105, yeah. He's the guy in Saboteur. who was hanging from the Statue of Liberty as Robert Cummings is trying to save him, and he's holding him by his sleeve, and the sleeve starts coming undone, and then he goes flying. Well, that was Norman Lloyd, in case people want to know. But anyway, hey, listen, we've run out of time already.
Yeah, this is actually, I like this. That was interesting, all the depressing.
Depressing, yeah, but our union, fuck them, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, we have a poster. It says "Old Lives Matter," and it says, "Give us our pension, our welfare, or health back." SAG after.
Yeah. Well, I hope there's some blowback on this.
Well, we're trying. We're trying. Anyway, talk to you next week.
You got it, Alex.
Now in our 6th year, this is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Okay. What? Oh, what am I? Oh, I see. I wondered what the noise was. I don't know if you can hear it. That's my air purifier. And I didn't turn on the air conditioner, and it's starting to get toasty in here. Well, if I need to, I'll go over there in a while. But anyway, we're trying to do some things here. I'm trying to see why I don't have something here, but everything, there's always something going wrong here, and then it obsesses me, okay, which is really quite wrong. Anyway, we'll try to deal with it somehow here. My trash isn't emptying. Okay, what the hell. Anyway, always something goes wrong just before we're going to do the show. Hold on a second. You're going to see an empty spot here. Let me go grab the air conditioning. Oh man, it gets. I think that just when I think it's winter enough. Okay. Oh, see, I'm wearing my shorts. I don't have to dress below the waist. Lucky I'm not even naked. But let me turn on the air conditioner. There we go. The reason I didn't turn it on is it's getting cool now, and it was pretty cool in the house. And then I closed the door here, and all this equipment puts out with a lot of heat. So, it was time for us to do something about it. Anyway, listen, we only have one person waiting to come into the show tonight. Suspicious, but we'll labor on as we can. Hello there, Charlie Wallace. You're always there waiting for me, and I appreciate that.
I'm the only one? Wow.
Yeah. Oh, there. My trash just emptied. You hear that? Anyway, I always get obsessed by something that isn't working here. Anyway, it gets really hot in here, so I had to turn on the air conditioner so everybody got to see me in my shorts. Let's see here. Who is this? Music Bill 123. Now that I'm thinking that's got to be John Larkin, but it might not be. Who is this? Are you there, Music Bill 123? Are you there, or am I going to?
Yes.
Oh, who is this?
Music Bill.
Yeah, we don't have video on you, Music Bill. Why don't you turn on your camera?
I can't.
You can't turn on your camera?
Right.
Well, then I might get rid of you because I would like to have you have a camera on so we can see you. This is a visual
Yes,
show.
no camera.
You don't own a camera, or it's not working?
I don't own a camera.
You don't own a camera. Oh,
Right.
boy. Well, that's going to make it a little rough, but we'll keep you on for a while. And if it becomes difficult, we'll ditch you. Hello, Jeff. How are you? Jeff Stein, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, Jeff. Okay, is your mic on, Jeff? Let's just make sure your mic's on. Okay? Is it on? I think it's on. No, it isn't, Jeff. Unmute your mic.
Yeah, that's all.
There
Thank
we go.
you.
Yeah, you got this down pretty well. Music Bill 123. Is there another name for you? Or do you want us to call you Music Bill?
Music Bill.
Okay, and where are you calling from, Music Bill?
Northern California.
Oh, okay. This is going to be a little rough, Bill, so I'm going to have to get rid of you, okay? I'm sorry. You know.
I watch every night.
Okay, well, I'm glad you do, and if you watch, you know this is really, we have a lot of people on here visually, and I'll keep you here until it gets difficult, okay? And just join in whenever you want to. Let me see here. This is it so far tonight, man. Oh man. Oh well, I'll just soldier on. How you doing there, Charlie, in Texas? What's it like?
We're coming up only 30 behind New Jersey in deaths.
Oh,
COVID
really?
deaths.
Oh, well,
So
you should be
tomorrow
able to.
We'll probably pass.
You probably be able to do that in a day, huh?
Yeah.
Because
Tomorrow we should do it.
And in Texas, have they done any mitigation at all? I mean, have they said wear masks, don't go in, restaurants can't open? What?
They finally decided to say they haven't mandated it, but they've recommended that people wear masks.
The people wear masks, but
nobody's wearing masks.
Yeah, but people wear masks. But how about restaurants, bars?
Well, restaurants can be open with I believe it's 50%. Might be only 25.
I'd say with the death rate you got, it should be 25%. But I don't think they should even do it yet.
No, they really shouldn't.
You know,
because we were doing great before he opened up the state May 1st.
Yeah,
and that's when things start taking off here.
Yeah, because you know, I mean, your state has got you know, I mean, if they're about to beat New Jersey in deaths, then you've got a serious problem there that has to be attended to, like they did in New Jersey. Which is,
not doing it.
You know, we're starting to have a problem here. We're our own. Well, we've just lost Music Bill.
It was me. It was me.
It was you. Yes, Brian Nearing.
Yeah.
Your secret.
No, the thing is that our problem is that we have. I think he calls it 20 zip codes out of something like 1,700 zip codes or something like that in New York State that are causing the problem. And so it's a 1.5 testing positive, which is high. We'd like to be under 1. And we have been for a long time until the Orthodox Jews out in Brooklyn became infected. And now we got a problem. You know, it's getting pretty crappy, and they're all out there, and they showed them out there. They said, and here is I was William. What's the area? Do you remember what it is, Jeff? The Williamsburg or what's the name of that
area
area?
where the Orthodox Jews live?
Yeah.
Williamsburg.
No, that's not where it is.
No.
No, not Williamsburg. Okay. Well, anyway, it's out in Brooklyn, and these guys, they showed they said, and Orthodox Jews, and they show them on the street, and none of them are wearing masks. Other people are wearing masks, but none of the Jews. And you go, you know,
Plus.
yeah.
Plus, they must be going to synagogue, right?
Yeah.
In the last week.
Listen, I got to tell you something. Charlene, you're really an idiot. She writes here, is there a link here for Zoom? Yes. If you look right down, it says video version of Alex Bennett's Ramble with the Citizen Panel, Zoom us at, and then you click on that. Yes. Look, Charlene. But once you find it, don't call us, okay? Anyway.
Just click on everything.
Yeah. Just click on everything on the page. Park Slope, no, it's Williamsburg, yeah, and you know, I mean, they're idiots, and they've caused it to go up, and then there's some places over in Rockland County, I think.
Yes.
Yes, that's in New
I
York,
heard that.
where they're having a spike. In other words, these are spikes, but they don't want them to turn into full-blown infections. So it's getting, we're careful here. I think, what was it he had yesterday? He said 120,000 tests yesterday. We did in New York State. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot. But at least it gives us an idea, of what's happening. So, anyway.
You heard the news tonight, right?
Huh?
You heard the news tonight?
Yes, I was going to mention that.
Okay.
There's a there's a semi-smile on my face, as it would be, I think, for all of you. Hope Hicks, who is the closest person to the president, okay, is infected.
And everybody loves to hug and kiss. We're all so close.
You were all so close, and he especially is hot for Hope Hicks. And Hope Hicks turns out she's got COVID, which means the president is in danger of having COVID.
Yep.
I'm so sad.
Well, now wait a minute. Now what happens? Let's say he gets COVID, and let's say he winds up in the hospital. Let's say he gets intubated. Okay. Now we know when you're intubated, only about 20% of the people who are intubated ever come out of intubation. They usually go straight to heaven or hell, in Trump's case. What happens if he gets intubated? What happens to this election? I mean, they printed the ballots up already. We've mailed them out.
That's right.
They've had other
people already
there have
voted.
been other dead people that have won elections, right?
Yeah.
There are, yes. Do you think he could possibly win if he died? A kind of a
I might
sympathy
vote for him if he's dead.
If he's dead, you'd vote for him? Well, then you get Pence. You don't want that,
Hey, you may not have Pence. I mean, those guys, they say since Wednesday, yesterday was when she was tested or got positive. That test may go back as far as Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And, Tuesday they're all lovey-dovey. So could wipe all of them out, and then Biden's are the only people left anyway. So
yeah, what's with Charlene? We have a no mask policy on this show, especially since you're calling from home. And you can't figure out the Zoom link, even though it's right under the.
No, I had to go to gabnet.net.
No, all you had to do on the page you were watching it says video.
Well, I didn't see it. I don't know, but I have a real bad OCD thing, and I can't. I don't want anyone to. I have an OCD thing, so don't make me worse.
What do you mean an
That's
OCD? What are you
on.
OCDing for? What's a Oh, that's why you have the mask on?
Yeah, it's a weird thing. I don't know. I think I need to see a psychiatrist.
Listen, some of us are improved by the use of a mask. Okay, we become more attractive.
Well, it could be that's what's making my face break out, but I don't know. So, but I have to keep this like this sort of. I'm sorry.
While I wasn't looking, Tony snuck in. Yeah, hi, Tony. How are you? And Bree is there.
I got a haircut today.
Hey, good. Bree's there. And I guess he hasn't got his camera on yet, he's letting us wait in suspense. Oh, there he is! Oh my God!
Yeah.
Oh, he's not.
Alex.
Yeah.
Doing it yourself. No DUI tonight.
Yeah.
Alex, I saw PTL Club just before you came
By the way,
on.
if you're going to wear that, wear it over your nose.
Yeah.
That doesn't do anybody.
I'm not in a crowd.
That doesn't do anybody
I'm
any
not
good.
in a crowd. I'm here by myself. No, but Jim Baker was on, and it was, oh my God, it was weird. Remember you and
come on, everybody
Patrick
put their mask on.
that.
We don't want to catch anything from anybody.
The PTL Club,
Yeah.
they had a black guy on that wrote a book. He's a minister, and he has him and Trump on the cover.
Yeah.
And they're trying to say Black Lives Matter. Black people don't even like Black Lives Matter or something. It was the craziest thing. And there's a new Tammy Faye Baker with Jim Baker. This Nancy Grace looking blonde. It was crazy. I don't know. I never watched that. But
Okay. Well, you're making me dizzy with this discussion. Okay. Anyway, I can't do the show with this on. I'm sorry.
I know. It's hard for me too. But
Yeah. Well, I don't know why you have it on. You just,
No, it's terrible. Don't harass
but
me
looking
more
at you
because
would be
it'll make me-
looking at you would
my
be worse.
OCD will
So
go even higher.
yeah. Okay.
It's not
All
a
right,
hand
all right.
washing thing.
Okay. Calm down. We got a lot of show left for you to talk in. Anyway, Tony, how is Mom staying safe from the coronavirus? Because you live out in Queens, and there's a little bit. Are you in one of the zip codes?
No, I'm not in the zip code. I'm not in the zip code, but
there are 20 zip codes that are.
I'm not far from it, but I think it's in. Is it in Williamsburg? I think it's by the Hasidics, really. So it's probably in Williamsburg.
It's near You're near Williamsburg.
I can get to Williamsburg, Alex. Actually, the other night I check your picture. I went to the bakery. I was near Grand Street. My brother and sister went there. I could be in there in like 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
Yeah, well, go over there. Get yourself some gefilte fish, get yourself some matzah, and get yourself some COVID. Okay?
When I was a kid, you know what I used to do? There was a comic store, Grand Book Comic on Grand Street in Brooklyn. I used to take my bike from my house. I never told my mother, but she knew I did it. And I would bike over to Brooklyn, and I would hang out at the store, buy books. And I would come back home with my backpack with it. But that was she didn't like it because it was a rough area at the time.
Oh, really?
Back in the 80s, Brooklyn was really kind of tough.
Yeah.
You didn't want to be there at night.
Yeah.
But now it's got built up a lot. It's like mini Manhattan.
Yeah, Charlene, she has her hand up. What do you want?
Oh, sorry.
Now, I'm in Jersey, and Lakewood is far from me, but there's a lot of Hasidic Jews in Lakewood, and they just announced today that the COVID is spiking in Lakewood, and probably because of the Hasidic Jews.
Yeah, well, they can pray and everything will be fine, I guess.
I mean, I hate to,
the
might be
I'm
racist.
a
shitster, Alex, so am I being, racist if I hate to say that about the Hasidic Jews, but they are escalating.
Say anything you want about the Hasidic Jews. They're terrible people. Anyway, and our landlords are that way. So I should be nicer to them, but you go down. There are parts. Some of them are pretty nasty. Am I right, Jeff? You know what I'm talking about.
I know.
Yeah. But anyway, but we wish them well, and we hope they don't get anything, and we especially hope they don't give it to us. Our governor Cuomo, I love because he says things in just the right way. Yesterday, he was giving a little talk about how the police don't like to tell people to wear masks because it makes the policemen unpopular. They get an attitude. And he said, well, they may not appreciate it now, but they'll appreciate it when they're dead. That's how he put it. I mean,
I like it direct.
Huh?
He gives a nice direct.
What I love about Cuomo, he is so. Am I right, Tony? He's so New York.
Yeah, it's coming like one of my old friends.
He's so New York.
I want to punch you in the face.
Yeah.
You don't wear it. Yeah. You really want to deal with this guy?
Earlier on, he says politicians don't want to offend anybody. Well, he said, I don't care if I offend people. Wear a mask.
His mom.
Yeah. Oh, he just had to go. His mom has to poop or something. By the way, in case you just joined us, folks, and oh boy, look at me, I'm moraying. See this? That's what they call moraying. Ooh, I better cover this up. I said to myself, I better not wear this shirt tonight because it might moray, and sure enough, it did. Isn't that pretty?
Doesn't look that bad, though.
Doesn't look that bad? Well, anyway, I look like a bad test pattern. Anyway, but I love Cuomo because he's so in your face about all this stuff. He's really great. He's really terrific.
There's other big news out of Texas too.
Mm-hmm.
What they talked about on CNN tonight. They said that the governor wanted to take away all the mail the walk up ballot places, so they can only have one per county.
One per county.
So one drop-off box per county.
What?
In Texas?
Harris County has 4 million people, and they get one drop-off.
So they're not going to fit in there.
They're going to start pulling them out right now.
Well, can they mail them in?
Yeah, they can mail them, man.
Yeah, but I think there's a huge percentage of people that like to go drop them off, like I do.
Yeah. Well, Marjorie wants to actually have us go down and go vote. At the precinct.
In the past, they've had as many as 11 or 12 per county when there weren't hardly anybody voting by mail.
Wait a minute, I'll show you something.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, these guys are just assholes.
There they are, folks. I scored 2.
Yeah.
So, and I have 4 more coming, so I'll be able to vote any number of times, and then drop some of them in a garbage can somewhere, so Trump can say how phony everything is. No, this is
Alex. Did you get your neighbor's ballot?
Inside? These are our ballots right here.
Yeah, because I have mine in New Jersey, and they were correct.
Yeah, well, these are correct too. I'm sure. I can't remember. They went out to a certain area of the town where they, and what was wrong, I think, was what were the names on the ballots, right?
When you got inside, it was somebody else's ballot inside.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
No, the envelope.
The envelope. Well, let me make sure. Let me see here. I'm sure it's okay. I'm sure it's okay. But I don't want to rip too much here because let me see here. Here it is. There's my ballot, official absentee ballot envelope. So what you have to do is you have to put the ballot in the envelope, then the envelope in this one, right?
The other envelope, yeah.
And you have to here we go. Here are the people. Wait a minute. Is this for the presidency? No, maybe it's not. Maybe this looks like it's for justices of the Supreme Court. Oh, this isn't. This is just oh, wait a minute. Here's the other side. Oh, there we go. Yeah, Joseph R. Biden and Kamala D. Harris and Donald J. Trump and Donald J. Trump and Joseph R. Biden and Howie Hawkins, Green Party. In case you don't know, I never heard of Howie Hawkins, but he sounds like a hell of a nice guy, doesn't he? And Joe Jorgensen, a libertarian, and the Independence Party, Brock Pierce. And then the representative for Congress, and let's see here, Democratic, Brian Benjamin, Oz Sullivan. Okay, all right. Well, anyway, we got our ballots, and I believe it's ours. Let me see if it has. Where would it have my name on it? The top or someplace? No. It has. And it says instructions. And but it doesn't. How do they know it's mine? That's the interesting.
On the return address on the one.
Oh, here I have to sign it there.
Oh, you do a vote?
Signature of voter, and I guess I have to date it. All right, and then I put this in there and this in here, and then I can mail. Oh, and then a barcode in a certain area. It has a barcode, so. I imagine this is mine, If it isn't, well, too bad. Let me go put this back I left it for Marjorie so she could,
I'm gonna have to do that for my mother because I'm not gonna take her into school.
Anyway, so I don't know though. She says she doesn't want to vote. She wants to vote in person. So. Okay. I guess we could. I told her. She said, "Well, if we don't do it that way, maybe it won't get counted or whatever." And I said, "No big deal." I said, "We live in New York. I mean, how bad can it get?" Oh, hey, Adrian. Huh? Oh, you.
Yeah.
Oh, there she is. Oh, she's such. You know something? You're a ham. You know what a ham is? You know what a ham is? No, that's somebody who acts up a lot, like you do. Makes faces and funny things with her arms, and acts like she's a yoga instructor.
Okay, say goodnight.
My theater.
George Burns, say goodnight, Gracie.
Yeah. My theater professor in college used to call it a mugger. Like you're a mugger for the, he used to say he hated muggers or something.
Yeah.
People that mug for the camera.
Yeah. But she.
I don't think you like me either. Like you don't like me, Alex.
Huh? No, not really.
My theater professor.
Anyway,
he used to roll his own cigarettes.
Where are people? We've been getting a very light crowd this week. Is there a reason for that? Does my breath smell bad? Robert, I don't know what happened to Robert.
Yeah, he just dropped off.
Well, no.
Is that the guy from New Jersey?
Can I answer the question, Charlene?
Sorry.
There's a thing on there called mute. Try it sometime. Anyway, now I forgot what I was going to say because you interrupted.
Robert.
Robert wrote me the other day and said that he wasn't going to be on for a couple of days. This was last week because they had a death in the family. Sister-in-law. Will you stop it, Charlene? You don't have to say something for everything, okay? It's annoying. It really is. Anyway. So I told him, he said, I hope to see you back again on Tuesday. And he wasn't here Tuesday, and he wasn't here Wednesday. And I wrote him yesterday, sent him a message on Facebook to see if he was okay. And I haven't heard back from him. So I have no idea what's happened, Then I was supposed to have Stephen Pearl on, do one of my little things with Stephen Pearl. And he's going through an eviction problem in Las Vegas. He's in a gated community, and they locked him out of the gate.
No. Me too.
So anyway,
that's where he lives.
Yeah. No, never move into a gated community. They can always keep the gates work both ways,
Oh, boy.
Yeah. So anyway. So what are we going to do about Hope Hicks? She's, she's got the COVID. Gosh, I hope she's okay. This distresses me greatly. Does anybody believe that? Did I do a good enough acting job?
But even if she is, she's younger. She's seen, I don't know if she has underlying conditions, but, spreading it to that crowd, like you always say about how Trump is. Trump's not the most healthy person, and something could happen,
Yeah, what happened to Bree? Bree was here.
Yeah, he dropped off.
Yeah.
He didn't even stick around, did he?
No.
He was in there for a second.
Yeah. Bree, call back. Yeah, Zim said, where's Robert? Miss Robert. Yeah, well, we do too. I hope he's okay. When I write somebody and I don't hear back from them, I begin to wonder. Yeah. Yes, Jeff.
I think a lot of people are exhausted from Monday night.
From Monday night?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tuesday night. Tuesday night. Yeah. I think they may have been. That was a pretty exhausting thing. Today I hear a lot of things here and there where people are complaining, well, the trouble with Biden was he shouldn't have told the president to shut up.
Yeah.
And my feeling is I've been waiting for somebody to tell him to shut up.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for someone to call him a clown. Yes, he is the president of the United States, but I got to tell you that just because you're president of the United States doesn't give you automatic dispensation, okay? That automatically people have to respect you because you're the president. I mean, this man does not deserve my respect, okay? That's it, plain and simple. So, I made my case. That's it.
I agree with you.
Yeah. But what are we going to do if Trump comes down with COVID? That's going to be an interesting. That would be there's a frosting on the cake in a rather weird year.
He sure can't make a lot of traveling trips.
Yeah. I mean,
and I don't think I don't think I'd be happy to be watching any of the other debates for the presidential, but the vice president, I think, is going to be a very interesting debate.
The vice presidential debate probably will be because it depends no matter how much you dislike him, for political reasons. and because he's a toady to Trump, he still is a much more dignified person than Trump. And of course, Kamala Harris is the same way. And I think they'll probably, and they've already kind of been put on notice after what happened the other night that maybe they better not act up, you know.
Right.
And the president says he won't go into a debate if they're going to cut his mic.
Good.
You know, I mean, okay, fine. You know,
You said that's a town hall. The next one's a town hall. You said.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say.
What I would say to him is, okay, if you're not going to show up, fine. But if Biden we'll just hold a debate with him alone, and let him have the hour and a half to make his case to America. So if you don't want to do it, you know. How about you, Bree? What do you think?
Yeah, I think put them in separate booths, and you have a timer.
Yeah.
You know, one of those clocks, and as it, you know, it's green, then it turns to yellow, then at red it cuts the mic off, and then goes back to the moderator. So
yeah. Either
even
that,
if they say something you
or
wouldn't
a
hear
second
that.
way would
They
be to
can
put
gesture, and
if
I don't know if
put
the
them
camera wants to show them, that's fine, but
yeah, but maybe put them both in a booth, okay, and then you have 2 minutes to talk, and if they go over, all of a sudden they get water dumped on them.
yeah.
Or just have them light up, you know, that booth will light up and they can talk.
Yeah.
They have that little shock button. The moderator has a little shock button. Zzz, zzz.
Yeah. What did you think of the debate the other night, Bree? You haven't been on since the debate.
Yeah, I did watch a lot of it. Probably at least 35, 40 minutes before I couldn't
remember,
take it
he's in
anymore.
Kuala Lumpur, so you know. Yeah, go ahead.
It was morning time.
Yeah.
I just had my breakfast, and I didn't lose my breakfast, but almost. I think Trump won in terms of the ways that these things are measured nowadays. You know, it used to be that substance actually mattered. You know, but you know, let's face facts. That even so, they've been, you know, they're kind of boring. So Trump tries to and Trump sees everything as a television show. You know, it's all part of. He's just trying to keep the ratings up. You know. So, but he looked more tan. I mean, he had his orange tan on. He was more assertive. He seemed to be more. He was Trump.
But
so
he was
think
purely.
He won,
but
I think
the problem was
Biden.
Yeah. Biden was what? What about Biden?
Biden was he was trying his best, but it was an onslaught. And I think that again, I've always made this case, I'll say it again. Don't go in the mud pit with the pig, because the pig is happy and you get muddy. And all those debates, all the debate is, it's saying to Biden, you must go in the mud. We want you in the mud, get in the mud. And I just disagree with that premise.
Well, I think Biden was trying his damnedest to stay out of the mud. I think there was a point at which he couldn't take it any longer, and neither could the public watching it. You know, I mean, let's face it, Trump was just purely rude, you know, making faces every time he would say something, you know, trying to upstage him. And I just didn't think it wasn't. I think Trump came off looking badly. I think the only problem is as you say, in order to even survive in that situation, he had to kind of get down in the mud with Trump for a couple of seconds there and say, "Come on, man, shut up." You know, I mean, it was like he was so frustrated. But I also think that Biden didn't take certain opportunities that were offered him, like when he went after what's his name, Hunter Biden, when Trump brought up the fact, he got dishonorable discharge, which he didn't according to Biden, and he said no, he didn't get a dishonorable discharge, but I think it's terrible of you when you talk about people who are in the service as suckers and losers and so on, because both my kids were in the military. But what he should have said was about Hunter. But then he said Hunter had a problem. Hunter had a drug problem, which I thought was a very interesting thing to say, because he wasn't holding back on something that people don't know already. And he said, but he's taken care of it, and he's on the mend, and everything is fine. And then what he should have said was, but he served in the military, which you didn't. Both my sons served in the military, which you didn't. And I don't know what Trump would have said to that. I don't think he would have had an answer for it. You know, he would have done a little smirk, and that would have been it. We just lost Bree. Wow.
But you know what, too? What he could have said, Biden, when I was sitting on the couch watching that at that point, I would have told Trump, there's a lot of people out here who have drinking problems, drug problems. So what do you should be showing compassion, not taking somebody apart. Isn't that presidential? Well, I mean, wasn't his older brother an alcoholic, Trump? I thought he was.
Yeah. But he was, Biden looked very hurt by the comments about Hunter.
That's a low blow. Somebody in your family or a friend.
Well, it's like the mob. You remember what they used to say about the mob? They used to say, okay, we fight with each other, but never family. Well, that should be the case here, too. You just don't go after the family. Those are the kids, Maybe he did something wrong, but you don't go after the kids. And, in fact, did Biden go after Trump's kids? God knows they've got enough to go after.
And he could even said this to Trump. I mean, I'm not going to be hypocritical. He could have said, you shouldn't be giving advice on anything. You were married 4 times and failed 4 times. All of a sudden, you're the master of etiquette?
He's been married 3 times. He's failed twice, and he's failed twice.
Oh, okay. But it's almost like, so he's...
I mean, you don't consider the current marriage a failure till it's over. But then again, I think he should already consider this marriage a failure. So
you know what it is? Trump is such a bad guy. It's almost like I really want to see Biden just really, I hate to say it, punch him. It's like you can't take that smugness on him. Well, he's just smug.
Yeah.
It's after a while, it's like, don't you really want to see him taken? Like, let's be honest, and I can ask everybody on the board here. If he got sick with COVID tonight, and they wheeled him,
and that's a possibility.
Let's be honest. Wouldn't you just sleep a little better? I'd stay up all night hoping for the news, just because he deserves it. I mean, I hate to say it's mean to think like that, but it's his arrogance. You just don't like. You can't root for him. You can't root for somebody like that. It's like somebody in my family. I'm not going to name names. I don't wish anything on anybody, but there's certain people you would never lose sleep.
Well, and correct me if I'm wrong, Brian, because you're somewhat the expert on this whole COVID thing, okay? More so than I am, more so than anybody else on the panel. Now I forgot what I was going to ask. Boy, that's weird. I had a question all lined up, and in parsing it, I completely lost the question. Oh boy, it was something about if Trump got it, blah 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 blah, would blah 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 blah, and
But they've been, if so, they've been exposed maybe since Monday, at least by Tuesday, and they're in they keep showing them going into the Marine One, the helicopter.
Yep, that's where she went.
Those guys are close. Yeah, those guys are in there, packed in for a while.
And did they go in wearing masks?
Nope. They showed Trump go in first, no mask, and they showed Kirshner with that one weird guy, and then her and like 3 other people. So they're in there. I mean, they're all. It's not like an airplane where they could be separate, but they're in there together talking. This is an advisor, not just there for the ride.
Yeah.
They're all talking over each other, and everything's going everywhere. Spit's going everywhere.
Well, you know what is just so vexing to me is that when it comes to this COVID thing, it is so easy to clear it up. Just wear a mask. Everybody, put a mask on. I know you hate it. I hate wearing a mask, But I go out and I wear a mask. And whenever I pass somebody who isn't wearing one, guess what I do? I put my hand over my mask.
So we have about 1,000 people in Sunnyvale factory.
Yeah.
In the two buildings, I think we have 700 people. And those are, even now after COVID sort of separated, about 300 have stayed home.
Yeah.
But we have about 700 people that are working, 24/7. They're very close to each other, but they're wearing, because we mandated masks months ago. And then also going into the clean rooms, they're always masked up. We've only had 2 people that I know, and I know because they've announced it to the upper management, only 2 people. One person was at the very beginning of March, and then another person was like in May. And we have not had anybody else come down with that. We've had people in and out of there, temps and everything, and no one's come down.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong on this, but if you wear a mask and the other person is wearing a mask, and one of you has COVID, neither of you are going to catch it from the other one.
Yeah, shouldn't get it.
Shouldn't get it.
If you're talking into that, and the spit, the large enough spit that is have any of that bacteria would be stopped, but the virus would stop. Wouldn't go through that.
So if everybody in America just for a month said, okay, anytime I go out, I hate it, but I'll wear a mask, I think we could probably kill this thing because it wouldn't have anywhere to go.
They show the meme with the 2 guys, and the guy, they're both wearing no pants, and the guy pees on one guy. And then one guy has pants on and he pees on the other guy, and the other guy, but they both have pants and they both pee and nobody gets touched.
I know you're not going to be able to necessarily see this, but I got this today in the mail, and so I put it on my Facebook page, and so everybody can see what it is. Let me, and then I'll leave it on long enough so if you have your computers on and you can see it. This is an ad for the new Borat movie. Okay,
yeah.
Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Wear a mask, save lives. And he's wearing a mask to hide his junk, as it were. I love that. I think that's just terrific. That's as good as it gets. Okay, so. Oh, well, there we go. Anyway, I thought people would enjoy that, so I thought I'd put that up there for you. But yes, Charlene.
Can I be annoying and add something, Alex?
Sure.
There's a gentleman, and I don't know his name, but he's like part of the medical community, and he said that he believes that wearing a mask is actually more beneficial than the shot that they're
vaccine.
coming up with.
Yeah, no, that was Redfield said that, and he was before.
So sorry, that was annoying.
It was before Congress, and he said, and it's a perfectly decent statement. That if he prefers to wear a mask to getting the vaccine, that both are the mask is more effective than the vaccine.
Right.
See, any vaccine they come up with is only going to be 50% effective. The masks are almost 100% effective.
Right.
It would help quicker than the vaccine would be coming in. We'd be
but I just don't understand why people don't wear the mask. I mean, what's the problem? What is the problem? And in my neighborhood especially, the number of people without masks is ridiculous. And I walk by them and I go like this, and they don't even flinch. It's not like they get the message. Do you go out often, Charlie? You say you kind of stay home, right?
Yeah, I just go out to go to the grocery store or go to the doctor's office. That's the only time I ever go out. Really? Yeah, I get my prescriptions delivered by mail.
Wow. So you must have, how many rooms do you have there?
It's a 1-bedroom apartment, so I've got, I guess, 4 rooms counting the kitchen.
Wow. So you're, here I've got a lot of room. So it's, it's not that terrible. But I mean, like I have been last week or so, I've been having these dizzy spells and so on. And I can't figure out why, because I don't have heart problems. I took my blood pressure. My blood pressure is fine, And I finally figured that it's just being indoors for 6 months, I mean, yeah, I went out today and I took a 1.5 mile walk, all right, just to say I did something. But barring that, I don't get out of the house. And after a while, you start getting woozy. you know. So.
And you're right in between some beautiful parks, and you don't take advantage. At least Charlie's got his bicycle back there, and he does his bicycle
every day.
Well, the park. What I've been doing about 2 or 3 days a week. I have this thing called the Harlem Mirror, and it's a lake. If you look at a map of Central Park in New York, up in the right-hand corner is this lake, and it's called the Harlem Mirror. And it's an artificial lake, but so's all of all of Central Park, and I just get there and I just walk around the mirror and back home, and when I'm through, I've done 2 miles. Okay, and that's good. A good solid hour walk, you know, and it's nice to be in the park. But I'm getting tired of taking the same walk all the time. There's another walk I could take up near Columbia University, but I got to climb up these hellish stairs, and I don't know if I want to do that. But I could go up to this other park we have up this way, and I do that, and then I come back, but I don't go up the stairs and go into Columbia University. But it's pretty nice, too. So, I mean, we've got these areas, and there's enough space where I don't feel once I get to these parks, that I'm risking anything much. Except that there are people not wearing masks again. And I'm just going, come on, get the message, you know? It would just be so much nicer if you wore a mask, you know? I mean, forget about whether you want to wear a mask or not. Show your respect for me, okay? You know, you're being disrespectful when you don't. Oh, we got Bree back again. What happened to you, Bree?
Sorry about that, Alex. I'm just having trouble with the internet this morning.
Oh, well, that's that Kuala Lumpur internet, you know.
Well, you know what I did? I go out and I have this app, and I can buy certain amounts of data because the Wi-Fi at work, I don't know, I must be overusing my allotment or something. So I just went on the telecom, and then I just said, give me unlimited, and then you can pay either 80 cents for the whole day at a lower bit rate, or you can pay $2 and get it fast. I did the light. It seems to be working.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you know.
So you're worth 80 cents.
But you have poor reception, spelled P-U-R. Okay. See, Kuala Lumpur, poor reception. Yes, yes, Charlene.
But you know, Alex, I'm seeing people out here in New Jersey that are wearing those clear visors. Yeah. Now, that's not good either, right? Like, you should have a mask under the visor, right? Because just a clear visor, that's not much protection.
Ryan,
right?
What about the clear visor?
A lot of people are using it, but they also say you should use a mask also with the visor.
Yeah, under it, like, yeah. But I'm seeing people with just that visor.
Yeah, I don't think the visor alone will work. The visor alone may prevent you from spitting on somebody else, but that doesn't mean that you can't still get something coming in from, you know.
Underneath, like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, doctors wear those in operating rooms to keep blood away from them and so on and so forth, but they still wear a mask. I had my dentist the other day, not the dentist that did the implant, but my other dentist at the office. She wears 2 masks. She wears a regular mask on the bottom and then puts on an N95 over it. And I said, why are you doing 2 masks? And she says, so you'll feel doubly safe, you know.
Yeah, I saw a friend of mine at work, and I haven't seen him for a while since everybody's been dispersed. I saw him today, and man, he looked like he lost a lot of weight, and he was really pale, and he had 2 masks on. And I was going to ask him if he was doing okay, but so I was sort of worried about him.
What do you guys do there, Bree, so far as masks are concerned? Are people wearing a lot of masks, or?
Yeah, everybody wears a mask.
Is it the law there?
Sake, even Marilyn Monroe is wearing a mask, you know.
Yeah.
So, we have, well, I mean, you just got to have hand sanitizer and a mask. It's interesting because just in the last couple of days, a lot of the shopping malls are now reporting cases, but they're very careful. They say, well, this was, the Nike store, and that person was only, scanned into 2 stores. Those have been completely disinfected. So, it's definitely around. But everybody wears a mask. Everybody has hand sanitizer. You have to track and trace anywhere you go. Even coming into my office, I had to track and trace. When I go to lunch, I will track out of the campus into the mall, into
what do you mean track
place.
and trace? In other words, what does that entail?
Their phones, right?
It's just a QR code. You just scan a QR code everywhere you
See,
go.
what we got,
some of them are automated.
What our state just initiated today, and I put it on and immediately took it off because I found it annoying because it told me I had COVID. It said, "Do you have fatigue and do you have runny nose?" Was two of them, and I said yes, and they said, "You better check and see you don't have COVID." And I'm going, "I don't have goddamn COVID." You know. Anyway,
President Trump may have it.
Wait a minute.
I know. Saw that, right?
Yeah, we saw that. Yeah. But the thing is that it's a new app they have, and I'm sure they have it. I think in South Korea is using it. The same thing, in which you put it on your phone, and then when you come within 6 feet of someone else with the app on their phone, it does some kind of magic in coordinating one with the other or whatever, and then if one of you comes down with COVID, they can then trace you because you've already gotten registered. But they're assuming that everybody's going to have this on their phone. But if only 100 people have it on their phone or 2,000 people have it on their phone, it's not going to work. Yes, Charlene.
The restaurants now are going to have a policy, I heard, right, in New York, that when they reopen, if you're in the restaurant, they want to take all your information for tracking and tracing.
No, they don't. They aren't going to. They have to.
It's a law. They have to do it.
Yeah.
So that's going to be crazy. They have to have somebody do all this work now. They'll have to hire people,
credit
right,
cards.
to track and trace, right?
Your credit card's going to show it too.
But in case someone comes down with it that had been in the restaurant, they'll know every other person that was in the restaurant at that time.
Well,
right?
Well, it'd be nice if everybody. I mean, I'll put this thing on my phone when everybody else does. But if I'm just going to have it and nobody else is going to have it, then what good is it going to do?
Right.
China mandated all that stuff, right? I mean, right, Bree, like years ago, didn't they mandate they had the face, I remember seeing like on 60 Minutes and stuff, like the face recognition stuff on everybody. And everybody's afraid that it's going to, taking away my rights and all this stuff, but you have a pandemic like this, and I think it helps.
Yeah, whether you have the app on your phone or not, you're traceable, you're trackable. As long as you have a SIM card in there, and that SIM card you have to pay, you're paying, your bill for your smartphone. They got you all around the world, and we know this now. So they could track it if they needed to. But the thing is if you think about it, I think COVID-19, the U.S. and perhaps others, if you think about it, it's designed. It will just keep going. I don't think it will ever be stopped. I think we will just always be living with it. And it's whether or not we can develop some sort of eventual way to just deal with it. But I think it will always be there, and it's the way of calling the herd.
Yeah, Cuomo said something.
Natural selection.
Cuomo said something which is really, I think, it was an important statement, and he said, we have these clusters, but if you don't go after the clusters can become community spread. And that's what you don't want to have happen. He said, to think that in these places like Williamsburg, those people don't come into Manhattan is a ridiculous theory, So we have to make sure those people are protecting themselves and protecting us. And I just say that when somebody doesn't wear a mask, they're disrespecting me. Yes, Charlotte.
Out here in New Jersey, they say the biggest spreader is that they have these parties, like the college kids have parties. Yeah. And the big thing in New Jersey is not like the way it is the Hasidic Jews in New York, certain pockets. It's that these people have these parties, like social, like, my neighbor had a big thing in their backyard, the other day. And that's the kind of thing that's going on. Like, I guess they're going to try to do more about that.
They've been having get COVID parties.
Yes, right. In New Jersey, they have that. The college kids, right?
Yeah. Yes, Charlie. Charlie.
Yeah. That reminded me that in September, after the colleges all went back and opened up, the 18-year-old and 22-year-old age group has spiked 55% higher in COVID cases.
They had a thing on the air today. Every day, Nicole Wallace, when she finishes her show, does a thing called Life Well Spent or something like that. And it's about somebody who got COVID and died. And today it was a 19-year-old. Wow. Okay? So for those people who say just kids don't get it, you know, that's what Trump said. They're tough. The kids don't get it. Kids die of it. Okay? And if not, they get some lifelong diseases, which, of course, won't be covered by insurance because it's a pre-existing condition, which will be done away with by Trump if he has his way. Yes, Bree.
If I'm speculating, but if Trump were to get it, and if Biden were to get it, and they're both in highly susceptible groups, what then? You know, I mean, talk about chaos. Talk about just
Pelosi.
a total. Yeah, I mean, the reality is, I mean, quite frankly, I based on media reports, and I know that's not, the U.S. just seems to be in crumbles right now. It just seems to have failed. It seems like a failed state. It seems like a failed state.
Yeah.
You've got,
It failed. Well,
it's amazing. I feel safer where I am.
Well, you know, here
here
was the thing I was going to bring up to Brian, okay, earlier, and then let me not try to explain it because I'll forget it again. But if we're going to talk about a risk group, people with comorbidities, a comorbidity on two legs is Donald Trump. I mean, he's what? He's fat. What else? What are some of the other comorbidities? Over 70.
Yeah, he's in the percentile. Yeah.
And we don't know what else because his doctor says he's the most physically fit, beautiful person he's ever seen.
Yeah. You're going to tell me he doesn't have some other comorbidities? There's a possibility he had a minor stroke.
Yeah.
Okay. So if he gets COVID, his chances of dying are greatly increased by the fact that he's in that group. You know, now, I don't wish it on him. You know, I wish a bad flu. I wish him to suffer with this thing, you know, but I don't want him, I don't wish him dead. I don't wish anybody dead, you know.
He would, though.
Huh?
He would.
He would. Well, let me put it this way. My question is, you know how when presidents die, how many have been around here when presidents died? You were here for Kennedy, most of you, right? And how many were here for, who else died in office? None of them died in office except for...
I saw Reagan get shot that day on TV. I was watching the soap opera with my mother.
Well, I liked Will Durst's line about him, that he didn't know, first he didn't know he'd been shot. And he said, between you and me, personally, I'd like to have a president with a central nervous system.
I couldn't believe it that
but anyway, what I'm saying is, what I'm saying is, he got, you know, somebody got killed, and they did like how many days of mourning, you know, in this country, the whole country came to a standstill over the Kennedy assassination. What if Trump died? Do you think this country would react that way, or do you think most people would go, "Oh, he's dead. Okay, let's go to the next one"? I mean,
like would they lionize him? You mean like?
Yeah.
I don't think I would.
That's a good question.
Yeah. So you know, I mean, it's just. So I don't wish him ill. No. You know, I wish him just enough ill that he knows what it's like to get this thing and suddenly has a better respect for it. Because if he had said, you know, here in New York. It is actually against the law not to wear a mask. There is something like especially if you don't wear them in the subway, there's a $50 fine if you don't wear a mask in the subway. And I don't know what the fine is, maybe $20 or whatever, if you don't wear a mask anywhere or outdoors. And yet the thing that's driving Cuomo nuts is de Blasio, who's a stinking rotten mayor, okay, horrible. Doesn't do anything about the police. I have a photograph, I put up on my site, of two cops standing on a street corner, no masks on.
Yeah, the cops have no masks.
Yeah.
This is why.
What?
This is why we're doomed. This is why we're doomed. It's not. it cannot be stopped. It's just going to keep going.
It's not working.
And there's no national plan.
Do you know what it is? It's a system that has broken down because America has this attitude of every man for himself.
That's a good point.
And so when you ask people to wear masks, it's just a common courtesy. All right, it's like saying thank you after somebody gives you something or helps you with something or whatever. It's a common courtesy. And nobody can get with, I'm not going to wear them because I saw some woman on television say, I have a constitutional right not to wear a mask. What? Where in the Constitution does it say you have the freedom not to wear a mask? So. It was good enough for the Lone Ranger. It should be good enough for us,
Even
different kind of mask, but,
I don't blame them. They threw them off the lane.
I wonder if this will have any effect on the election. Like if Melania had COVID, and Trump can play a sympathy vote. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I'm sure he would use it to his advantage if he could. But, everybody's going to go, well, how do you feel about it now, mister? It's going to be just a bad cold,
If Hope Hicks has it, she's confirmed. I don't know if that test is 100%. I think that President Trump will have been exposed to COVID-19.
Well, he was. If they both got in that helicopter, as Brian says, and you saw them go into that helicopter together without masks, then he's got a good shot at getting it.
How is he always avoiding it too? It's amazing.
Well, because he's standing on a stage and he's got people 20 feet in back of him and 20 feet in front of him and nobody on this side, and he's safe. He's in this bubble, okay? I've noticed last night they had some rally, and the people sitting in back of him, they had everybody wearing masks. But then, of course, they shot the audience and nobody was wearing a mask. Yes, Charlene?
Maybe he took that Russian vaccine.
Huh? Yeah.
Maybe he took the Russian vaccine.
Could be. Yes.
Sputnik, right? Has Trump tweeted out or made any kind of statement yet? Because that's what I'm dying. I'm thinking I want to see what he has to say about this. He's going to get really mad if anybody asks him a question.
Well, he's
going to say that's a nasty question, right?
He talked about it tonight.
Did he? What did he say?
What he say?
Yeah, he said, "Oh well, I guess she came down with it. Oh, I took a test, so I guess I'll see results tomorrow morning. Oh, I guess this, I guess that." But yeah, he did talk.
Are you ready for this? This is what it says. This is what it says on. Here's the headline right now, on Drudge. There it is, folks. I'll show it to the audience. Trump in quarantine.
Oh boy!
Oh, wow.
White House virus nightmare. Top aides infected? Question mark.
Yeah. Okay. Because that's the protocol.
I posted
they're
in the
going
chat.
by the protocol.
In the chat.
What?
Even before
I think they're all going to get it.
Yeah.
Even before they have results, they have to go through the protocol. So that's their protocol. They're together. Kirshner, all of them who are in the helicopter need to be quarantined. Somebody posted, looks like Hope Hicks might be eligible for the Nobel Peace Prize.
Scarfy? That's Scarfy, right?
That's it. Oh, that's not Scarface, is it?
That's true.
Was this wasn't in our chat, was it?
No. This is on Facebook. Somebody posted.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, that isn't Scarfy, Hope Hicks?
What?
No.
Scarfy.
Scarfy is what's her name?
I just call her Scarfy.
Burks, I think.
What?
Oh, Burks.
Dr. Burks.
Oh, that's it, Burks.
Yeah, I don't know whether I like her or not. She seems like she's just a toady for Trump,
Yeah.
She has an office in the White House,
And I suspect that we're going to hear something from that, 20 years from now.
What?
Somebody's going to write a book and.
Well, I won't be around, so you tell me what you think's going to be in it now, okay?
I think there's definitely some. I mean, come on, it's Trump. It's Donald Trump. You think that Donald Trump?
You think he's boffing Hope Hicks, right?
Oh, come on.
I don't think he's boffing anything now, to be honest.
No.
Yeah.
Got it.
I don't think
Not even Melania. Yeah.
He's smoozing, that. So.
That's why he's quarantining himself from Melania years ago. There's nothing going on there with them, right?
Yeah. Trump can do it.
Yeah. So anyway, I mean,
I think it would be very hard.
Huh? What?
I think it would be very hard to, pun intended, to avoid. I mean, it's Trump. It's Donald Trump. I mean, this guy, if he's like something and something's available to him, he eats a ton of McDonald's French fries.
He loves the McDonald's.
Well, the chances are good. There's a good chance he could get it. Now whether he gets it or not. I mean, what are the chances if you're that close to it, Brian? Do you know of getting it?
Oh, I think they're all exposed to it, 100%. Being in that helicopter and no mask, they're all exposed to it.
Wouldn't it be great? Now here's what you're gonna love. Get this scenario. She has it. He was exposed to it. What does that mean you have to do? Tell him, Brian.
Yeah, for 2 weeks. He's got to stay inside.
He's got to quarantine himself for 2 weeks.
Yep.
There are only 4 weeks left till the election.
You can't do the debates then.
Huh?
You can't do the debates.
He can't do the debates.
Oh, boy.
He can't go out on the road. He can't do any of that. Meanwhile, Biden's out there going.
He could do the debates.
Hey, wait,
if he's in
Biden's
isolation.
They actually killed Joe Biden to win now.
This is some election.
Yeah.
If he kills Biden,
Actually,
I'll go crazy.
Wait a minute. How long did Hope Hicks have it? Did Trump have it at the debate? And was that why he was yelling over Biden?
They said Wednesday.
Yelling at Biden.
They said Wednesday they found out she had it, and she is symptomatic. So it's not like this one person that had it and has no symptoms. She had symptoms. She got tested yesterday. She has it. She can be up to 48 hours before, which is Monday. She could have had it Monday.
Biden could have it now. Biden could have it. Trump
Biden had a mask on. Biden had a mask on. They said, though, behind the stage, none of the Trump people had masks on, even though they came out with masks.
But Biden did have a mask on behind.
Yes. Thank God. He didn't pull it down.
Remember Trump even said that. Oh, Biden's wearing mask. I saw him with the biggest mask I've ever seen.
Yeah, he did say that.
That's smart.
But that only protects other people from Biden.
Yeah, but I'm sure
when
the
you
people.
Wear a mask.
Yeah, but I'm sure the people in Biden's entourage.
I don't think Biden was even near Trump, though.
No, and I'm sure that if he went into the
within 5 feet of him on the stage.
No, he wasn't.
Oh.
That was much further.
They were distant.
Well, I've heard.
Just remember, if you want to know the way you measure 6 feet. Yeah. If you're 6 feet tall, just put your arm span out. That's 6 feet.
But it's a lot farther. It's like 13 feet that it can travel or something. Like 3.
Well,
3 or
yeah,
6 meters or something.
but I think he was further than that. I think that looked to be maybe double that. They were quite a bit apart from each other.
Also, you don't think that people in their camps were talking?
Well, we'll find out. I doubt it. I doubt it. Okay. Why would they be talking? What would they have to talk to each other about? I haven't got time.
Trump was shouting.
Huh? Yeah. Well, anyway.
Trump was shouting.
Trump was shouting. Yeah. He was making lots of noise. Anyway, no, Charlene, the theme's playing. We're going away now.
No, Hope Hicks is the hot press secretary, right?
I guess if you consider that hot. Okay.
Well, I don't know. Once you said you thought she was cute.
Maybe that's a lesbian in you coming
better than
out.
what's
I don't
her name,
know.
Huckabee Sanders.
Yeah. Okay.
Right?
All right. I got to end this show here. Jeff, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. There are people who do just listen to this, so you don't just wave. Brian, thank you so much. Thank you, Charlene, for being here. Tony, always good to have you here, and take care of your mother at the same time. That's it's nice that people have hobbies here on this show. With Bree, it's woodworking. I mean, it's wonderful. He made a spice rack the last time he was on with us, and then of course Charlie Wallace. And thanks, Bree, all of you. Give a big kind of wave goodbye, and I'll give a big wave goodbye back. Okay, here we go. There goes our citizen panel. And they're out of here for the night. I'm out of here for tonight, too. Jack Bishop is next with The Intersection. over most of this same GabNet. He'll be taking calls via Skype. In the meantime, I'll see you again tomorrow night. Same time, same station in life. In the meantime, if you see her, tell her I love her, and be safe out there. And it's just respect for other people. Wear a mask, okay? Bye-bye, everybody. Have a nice night.